Close your eyes and you see darkness, right? But your brain is actually working overtime to prevent that. It is constantly painting over the gaps in your vision using a mechanism we have only recently begun to truly decode. Every second, your eyes dart around, leaving tiny blackouts in your perception. You never notice them because your mind is a master of the memory fill, a process that stitches your past into your present. But what happens when the external world is cut off entirely? That is when the system goes into overdrive, revealing the incredible engineering behind how we actually see the world.
For decades, we thought hallucinations were just errors in the system. But the discovery of memory filling in early 2026 changed everything, showing us that these visions are actually the brain's default operating mode. Think of it like a video game engine using occlusion culling to save power. Your brain only renders what it absolutely has to, filling in the rest with high-fidelity guesses based on what you have seen before. This isn't just a trick, it is a fundamental survival mechanism. By predicting the world instead of just reacting to it, we save precious milliseconds that could mean the difference between life and death.
The secret lies in how the brain handles noise. When visual input becomes weak or garbled, the brain doesn't just give up. It turns up the volume on its internal archives. This is the reality filter. It is a sophisticated gatekeeping system that decides which signals are real and which are just the brain talking to itself. And sometimes that gate stays open. When the filter is bypassed, the internal archives flood the visual cortex. The result is a hallucination so vivid it is indistinguishable from reality because it uses the exact same hardware.
To understand how this works, we have to look at the alpha rhythm. These are slow, rhythmic pulses that act like a heartbeat for your perception, occurring about 10 times every second. During memory filling, these alpha waves become the glue. They create windows of opportunity where the brain can insert a memory fragment without you noticing the seam. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering. The brain isn't just a camera. It is a world-class editor, constantly cutting and pasting to keep the movie of your life running smoothly.
But why does this happen? Why did evolution build a brain that can lie to itself so convincingly? The answer lies in the limitations of our biological sensors. Our eyes are actually quite low resolution outside of the very center. To give us the illusion of a sharp 3D world, the brain has to fill in the blurry edges with its own data. Memory filling is the ultimate upscaling algorithm. It takes a low-quality stream of information and turns it into a 4K masterpiece, all in real time. At the heart of this process is a specific circuit, the thalamocortical loop. This is the high-speed railway that carries information between your sensory relay station and your higher thinking centers. When memory filling begins, the upward flow of visual data is suppressed. It is like a drawbridge being raised, preventing new information from reaching the conscious mind. With the external input blocked, the downward flow from the memory centers takes over. The brain starts talking to itself, and it has a lot to say. This is where we find the hippocampus, the brain's librarian. It holds the index for all your long-term memories, and during memory filling, it starts pulling files at random. These files aren't full movies, they are fragments. The smell of rain, the curve of a chair, the color of a specific sunset. The brain has to figure out how to piece them together. The engineering challenge here is incredible. The brain must take these disjointed pieces and create a coherent 360-degree environment in milliseconds. To synchronize this, the brain uses phase-amplitude coupling. Think of it as a master clock that ensures every part of the brain is on the same page at the same time. The slow alpha wave provides the beat, while the fast gamma waves carry the actual memory data. If the timing is off by even a few milliseconds, the hallucination falls apart. When the timing is perfect, the brain achieves temporal binding. This is the genius part. It's the moment when separate fragments of sound, sight, and touch become a single, unified experience. But without real-world data to keep it grounded, the brain can get carried away. This is called hyperassociation, where the brain starts finding patterns that aren't actually there. It is the same mechanism that makes you see a face in a toaster or a dragon in the clouds. In memory filling, this process is turned up to 11. The brain is so desperate for meaning that it will force a memory to fit the shape of the void, even if that memory doesn't make any sense in the current context.
This creates the vividness paradox. Why do these internal images feel more real than the actual world? It is because they are pure signals, uncorrupted by the limitations of our eyes. When you look at a tree, the signal has to travel through lenses, fluids, and nerves, but a memory fill signal is generated directly in the visual cortex. It's like the difference between a blurry photo and a 3D render. By bypassing the hardware of the eye, the brain creates a hyper-reality that can be more colorful, more detailed, and more emotional than anything we see in our daily lives. So, if our brains are so good at hallucinating, how do we ever know what's real? The answer is a constant, high-stakes competition between your eyes and your expectations. This is predictive coding. Your brain is constantly generating a best guess of the world and only updates it when the sensory data proves it wrong. It's the ultimate efficiency hack. We don't see the world as it is. We see our brain's latest correction of the world. Our reality is a controlled hallucination that happens to coincide with the truth. The discovery of the memory-filling mechanism has opened up incredible new possibilities in medicine. For people with vision loss, we can now tune the brain's filling engine to restore sight. By using rhythmic light pulses to synchronize the alpha waves, we can help the brain stitch together the fragments of remaining vision into a complete usable image. It is like a biological version of generative fill in Photoshop, but for the human soul. We are learning to repair the world by repairing the way we imagine it. This also explains the uncanny similarity between our brains and modern artificial intelligence. AI models like Sora or Midjourney use a process called diffusion that is remarkably similar to memory filling. Both systems start with noise and use their internal training data to find a pattern. Whether it's a computer rendering a cat or your brain rendering a memory, the math is surprisingly the same. We are discovering that the creativity of the human mind is built on the same engineering principles as the tools we are now building. We are creating mirrors of our own biology. The implications are profound. If our reality is built on memory fragments and rhythmic waves, then truth is much more fragile than we ever imagined. Every time you remember something, you are actually re-rendering it. And every time you re-render it, the memory filling engine might add a new fragment, slightly changing your past. Our brains are not vaults, they are workshops. We are constantly rebuilding our history to match our present, using the cleverest engineering in the known universe. Next time you see something move in the corner of your eye or find yourself lost in a vivid daydream, remember the incredible machinery making it possible. You are not just a passive observer of the world, you are its creator, its editor, and its lead engineer, stitching together reality 10 times every second. The world you see isn't just out there. It is a masterpiece being painted inside your mind, one memory fragment at a time. And that is the most brilliant engineering of all.